Does your head hurt? Where does your head hurt? On the back of your head? This is my daughter Gracelyn, and this is her story. She had been dealing with headaches for a month and a half. We had constantly been taking her to a pediatrician, but they kept saying that there was nothing wrong with her. For a month and a half, my daughter has acted like this. She was very uncomfortable. Everyone around her could tell that something was wrong. I finally decided to bring her to the ER and demand that they give her a CT scan to figure out why she's having headaches. When the results came back, they found 2 cystic lesions on her brain. We were immediately transferred to a children's hospital. Although I was very scared, look at how brave my little girl is.
We were immediately transferred to a bigger hospital an hour and a half away. We were waiting for the children's hospital to have the bed availability. Unfortunately, she had to wait almost a full day. We tried to keep her busy by giving her a bubble bath, but she was so tired and so hungry. When it finally was time to get transferred, she was not happy. They were so sweet at the children's hospital. They were trying to keep her busy while we were waiting for the MRI. When the MRI came and she was sedated, it showed that it was a brain tumor and not cystic lesions. She was finally able to eat, so she was back to her normal self while we waited for surgery.
This heartbreaking news is the most terrifying thing a parent can hear.
I prayed for a sign that we would have a successful surgery. On the morning of her surgery, the fire alarm was going off. I took that as my sign. When the doctors started coming in, Gracelyn was so scared. She could tell something was happening, but she didn't know exactly what. They were so sweet, and they let her daddy comfort her. He held her and her tablet and rolled with her all the way to the double doors where they would go back to surgery. After 9 hours of surgery, she was finally rolled back into the room. She was completely sedated, but she was still fighting them. And there Gracelyn is after surgery. And there's her team.
Gracelyn is incredibly strong to go through a brain surgery at aged 2.
After she was rolled in, it was time to take all the tubes out and wake her from sedation. We wanted to see how strong her coordination was and if she was able to breathe on her own. They did leave the drain in her head for an additional 5 days. After the surgery, here she is trying to eat a pudding cup. She did really good, all things considered. A chest x-ray showed that she had leftover fluid in her lungs from surgery, and unfortunately she had spiked a fever. They had tested her and found out she had the rhinovirus and corona. They kept her sedated for 72 hours. After 3 days, she was woken up.
Gracelyn's bad luck continued as she recovered from her surgery, contracting coronavirus, but her parents stayed with her throughout.
We spent 3 weeks in the PICU room. Today she got to play with Play-Doh. Then we watched Frozen 2 times. Usually by then it's time for lunch. After lunch, they come in to check on her and they tap on her chest to help break up all the gunk in her lungs. Then they decided to do a chest x-ray. Chest x-rays are usually pretty normal for us at this point.
After 3 weeks in hospital, the doctors finally had some clarity for the family. Unfortunately, it was not good news for Gracelyn and her family.
Thanksgiving morning, her doctor came in and told us her tumor was a grade 2 ependymoma, which is cancerous. He also said we were accepted into St. Jude and we would be leaving Monday morning. The boys came up Sunday morning to the hospital to give her encouraging words and presents before she left. When Monday morning came, they loaded her up on a stretcher and off she went to Memphis. It was about a 5.5 hour ambulance ride, or as Gracelyn remembers it, it was the length of watching Frozen 2 times and Tangled 1 time. She even got to doze off for a minute. Here she is coming off the ambulance all the way to the front gate of St. Jude. We arrived as inpatients but were quickly placed in housing.
Their lives have quickly turned upside down, but her parents remain positive.
They have a sitting area with a table and a private room with 2 full beds. Poor Gracelyn, she was so tired from the move, she passed right out as soon as I put her on the bed.
Staying in hospital housing, they can easily get Gracelyn to appointments.
When we're done with breakfast, we go back to our room and get ready. Then we come back down to the lobby and get shuttled to all of her appointments. They have an app to keep all of her appointments in line, and on a day-to-day basis, she averages between 5 to 7 appointments. When we got to this appointment, she was so done, she tried hiding in the wagon under the covers. And then another appointment, a snack break, and another wagon nap. This is her last appointment for the day. I think she has a crush on her eye doctor, as she requested lipstick for her appointment.
It is heartbreaking that this has become a regular day for the family. It wasn't long before doctors had more information regarding her diagnosis.
On this Monday appointment, they told us we would need another brain surgery. I was not happy since her scar was just starting to heal. We were quickly transitioned to her new hospital. Of course, we had to go explore. After walking around for a while, we finally found their playroom with some really cool toys.
With a love of toys and Disney princesses, Gracelyn is just like any other little girl.
Today is Gracelyn's second brain surgery day. On the way down, they stopped at the toy wall and let her pick something out. She found a package of princess crowns that she wanted to put on while we were waiting for her to go back for surgery. We said our goodbyes and then we walked around the hospital looking at all the Christmas decorations. Some more waiting. And finally, after 7 hours, they had called and told us that she was in the recovery room and that we could come see her. We got down there just to find ourselves waiting some more. Finally, they let us come back into her recovery room. And we saw her sitting up eating the peanut butter and jelly and drinking her chocolate milk.
After 2 brain surgeries, Gracelyn is finally on the road to recovery, strong enough to be a little terror to her mum and the doctors.
When they came to move us to the PICU room, I had noticed that something was wrong with her eye. Turns out she had picked the stitch out, which means we had to put her eye patch back on. Friday, they had to sedate her to place a new stitch. Her doctor was pretty impressed that she had the willpower to pull it all the way out. And here she is by Saturday morning enjoying a cookie.
Gracelyn is still in hospital, but her parents and the doctors are hopeful.
This is a difficult story to watch unfold. Any parent's worst nightmare to experience, but for Catherine and her family, that nightmare has become a reality. Thankfully, Gracelyn has shown unbelievable strength at this difficult time, and for a girl of just 2 years old, it goes to show that she will grow up to be someone strong and capable. We wish Gracelyn and her family all the best at this difficult time. The comment section were heartbroken by this unbelievable tale, saying, "Poor sweet baby, I hope she recovers well. God bless her and protect her." And prayers for you all. Proud of you, Mama, for advocating for your baby girl. Stay strong through this scary process. As always, thanks for watching Happiest. If you like this video, then be sure to follow our Instagram and TikTok pages for more heart-wrenching videos like this. And if you have any of your own videos you'd like to share, be sure to send them in.